you're never coming round. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired. Listen to the sound of my tears. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have come by.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes.
Turn around, bite eyes. Every now and then I fall apart.
And I need you now tonight. And I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right.
What is up, guys? TYSON DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Woo! Kamala Harris is pulling out all the stops. She's trying to pull out all the stops, bringing out all the celebrities, but the campaign is still flailing like a dead fish on the San Diego pier. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. It does help with the YouTube algorithms. And if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. So Kamala Harris is bringing all the stops out, whether that's Usher, Samuel L. Jackson, Lizzo, whatever her name is. I can't even list a Lizzo song, but bringing out all the stops, and it's not helping. It's clearly not helping. And I wonder why these people are backing or endorsing Kamala Harris. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the diddler has something to do with it. I'm not 100% sure. But what we are looking for is this right here. We're going back to the future, guys. We're going back to the future. This is the headlines today from the New York Post. Trump, back to the future. Now, let me see who's in the chat. What's up? What's up? Now, recently, a celebrity came out and fully endorsed Donald Trump. And I'm going to give you a little hint on who it is.
Take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
What a great movie. They'll never take our freedom. Mel Gibson. TMZ caught Mel Gibson at the airport. This is what he had to say about Kamala Harris. The end of this is absolutely hilarious.
The president is being voted on in days. What's your thoughts?
Oh, man, that's a big question.
What's Trump?
I don't think it's going to surprise anyone who I vote for.
Well, so I mean, I'm gonna guess. You go in. Yeah. I'm gonna guess Trump. Is that a bad guess?
I think it's a pretty good guess.
Well, what do you think the world will be like in a second term with the President Trump's second term? A lot of people.
I know what it'll be like if we let her in.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And that ain't good.
Yeah. Well,
miserable track record, appalling track record, no policies to speak of.
Yeah. And the border, right?
And she's got the IQ of a fence post.
The president is.
I told you guys, she has the IQ of the fence post. What's up, everybody? Drop it in the chat. Gina, Sandra, American Pride, Going Rogue, Margie, Ashton. What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Friday to everybody. Again, if you're catching this on the replay, if you're catching this on the live, let's go. Happy Friday. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. And then also, just a little plug, I guess, if you would. If you haven't joined the Discord group, we're having a lot of fun in there. Jump into the Discord group. The link will be in the description link down below. You can check it out. All the community members that are chatting with you right now, we're building a deeper and stronger community on Discord with less restrictions. I gotta whisper it. I sound like Joe Biden, right? So Donald Trump was in Las Vegas yesterday, my hometown of Las Vegas. And right before he hopped on the rally, he had actually the last 3 rallies have been on point. How many of you guys have joined the live streams on the rallies? They've been awesome. Yes, Gina says the Discord group is awesome. Justin, shout out. Thank you for joining the Discord group. So Donald Trump has had some amazing rallies as of late, and they've been absolutely great. This last one was in Las Vegas, my hometown, and he stopped off at a Cuban restaurant. And some of you that were on the live last night saw this video, but this is Donald Trump stopping off at a Cuban restaurant.
Wow, thank you. What you're doing?
I'm going to pause it right here because what do you notice in the photo? You got Donald Trump, El Presidente Trumpo. That was like a Spanish-Italian accent. You got Donald Trump in the sombrero in a cardboard cutout.
Do not lean over. You mentioned potential use of the military on election day. What does that look like?
Thank you, everybody.
Now look at this crowd. Look at that crowd. Shout out to the Netherlands. But look at this crowd. Oh my gosh. And this, mind you guys, this was an impromptu event. I think that's how you say it. Yes. Impromptu. Yes. And these people showed up. We want Trump. We want Trump. This is incredible. This is incredible. His rally last night was amazing. And then, listen to this. I came across this clip, and Crooked Hillary. We all know Crooked Hillary, right? We know Crooked Hillary too well. Listen to what she had to say on CNN. Now, the polls must be tanking so bad. They must be just jumping off a cliff and going into the water, because to have Hillary Clinton say something like this.
And he has actually gained support when you look at the numbers, especially with key groups like Black men. That is something that the Harris campaign has been working on. Why do you think he's gaining support then?
People, I think, find him to be a strong man, and that's very attractive.
Oh, man. Oh, yep. Proof is in the pudding. Beyonce is in Diddy land. Yep. So apparently, we're going to get into that right now, actually. So if you guys haven't been following Candace Owens, she has. How many of you guys have been following Candace Owens, by the way? She has been uncovering, like unsolved mysterying, Kamala Harris's background. Okay. And come to find out, there was a Black woman in her book, and Kamala Harris listed that Black woman as her grandma. It's not her grandma. It's not. So just to quickly recap, Kamala Harris her family were slave and plantation owners. And she just found somebody to help, some of the help to say, oh, you're going to be my grandma from my book that I'm going to publish because I'm going to run for presidency in 2020. This is what this is a good little clip from Candace Owens here. I see a lot of you guys. Yes, lies. That's not her granny. She's been lying, and she's coming out to Beyonce. It is crazy to me. Candace Owens fully exposes Kamala Harris she's not black. It doesn't matter, but she's not.
She's coming. She is coming to town. We knew it was going to happen, obviously. We knew it was going to happen because, like I said, this has been so abysmal for Kamala. They're very upset with black men for not behaving in the way that they should. So they're going to offer black men Beyonce. They're like, listen, okay, we're bringing her. All hail the queen. All hail the queen. Nobody can resist Beyonce. And you know what's really funny? I can't say who. Because I do keep a lot of these discussions private that I have with so many artists and entertainers. A lot more of them are conservative than you think. They are just also like, having a figurative gun to their head. They're not allowed to speak out on their conservatism or they'll lose everything. But one individual was recently telling me that they get what's known as the call. And essentially, if they step out of line, there's like a black mafia that's been created of sorts. And these people are supposed to call you. And they essentially, when you get the call from them, you better know that you need to get out there and you need to do something. And those individuals range from Tyler Perry to Barack Obama. Once upon a time, Diddy was one of these individuals. And
who? Diddy?
One person who also told me this obviously was Kanye, but that has been recently confirmed to me again. And so when I see like Beyonce and her being trotted out, I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of the Hollywood black mafia. People are having their strings pulled and told that they have to make an appearance. And you wonder why that is. Like, I can't believe that with everything going on, that for Beyonce, this is a priority. Like, I don't buy the Beyonce's here to save the world rhetoric. Like, I personally believe that her and Jay-Z, for whatever reason, are basically told when they have to get out and support something. That's why they were one of the earliest supporters. Remember, I just vaguely or vividly rather recall them marching in the street over Trayvon Martin. Like, they co-signed BLM and it feels like it became a thing overnight. And they have been sort of minted like the king and queen of hip hop. So seeing that she has now agreed to appear at a Friday rally in Houston with Kamala Harris just smells very funny to me. She will be with her mother, Tina Knowles, and the country music icon, Willie Nelson, according to people that are familiar with the planning. And so that is supposed to be announced imminently.
It's weird. Candace Owens is saying, oh, they get the black call, right? And then they're like, oh, you got to come out and you got to trot out and you got to dance. Puppet dance for me, puppet. It's crazy. Yes, Stephanie says, if you guys aren't familiar with the one, the only Barry Sortoro, aka Barack Obama, his birth certificate took forever to come and play too.
And as we know, Kamala, who is definitively not black at all, not even kinda, okay? She's a Jewish Hindu Irish woman, for being honest here, and a descendant of slave owners and sugar plantation supervisors. And one of them, who was incredibly abusive, by the way, Hamilton Brown, was known to be very abusive to his slaves, and she is a descendant of that Hamilton Brown. But anyways, we know that in order to convince people that she's black, she chose to walk out to Beyonce's song Freedom. That has been her theme music throughout all of her rallies, even though I feel certain that Kamala Harris can not name even 2 Beyonce albums. But they are obviously ginning this up to the public, and it's supposed to make black people do a 180. And I just find this all to be so routinely insulting. Like, to me, it just reeks of racism. Look at this NPR headline, by the way. It's so embarrassing. Beehive meets K-Hive. Like, there is no K-Hive. There is no K-Hive. If there is a K-Hive, I am the K-Hive. Like, I have basically been swarming her genealogy. Like, I am the K-Hive, okay? And I do not plan on letting this go, because I just find this to be so fundamentally racist. Everything that she has done has been so fundamentally racist. And
think about this, right? An Irish, Jewish, Hindu woman pretending to be black. What? What is going on here? Somebody said Sandra said Willie Brown Willie Brown. That's a totally different subject. That's another poll. But Willie just wants weed to be legal. It's funny to me because Kamala Harris is now touncing around and saying, oh, I want to make weed legal, but yet she locks everybody up for smoking weed. It is crazy.
that includes
She just wants the black
trotting out
vote.
all these black artists from Little John to Usher and now to Beyonce as a way to tell black people to behave. So I'm completely not with this. We'll see what's to come of it. It'll likely be something that is hilarious because there is nothing about Kamala that gives off any type of swag. There's nothing about Kamala. She lies about having listened to Tupac while she was smoking in her college dorm, like she told that to Charlemagne the God.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like in
And
college?
I inhaled. I did inhale.
Was it in college?
Uh-huh.
What were you listening to when you was high? What was on? What song was?
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, definitely Snoop. Tupac for sure. For sure.
It turned out that Tupac was 10 when she was at university. So that story made entirely no sense. It was
Makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. And yes, as soon as the Joe Rogan and Trump episode comes out for the love of bags, I will be covering that. That is going to break the internet. I know Joe Rogan generally records podcasts and then posts them the next day. Sometimes he posts on Saturday. I'm not sure if he's going to post live or if he's going to post it on Saturday, which kind of seems odd if he were to post it on a Saturday. But and since Kamala Harris is trying to get more male votes, we all saw those cringe-worthy ads of I eat carburetors for breakfast and all this other crap. This is what Fox News had to say here about this situation.
Colby Covington, UFC welterweight fighter, friend of the Angle. Colby, great to see you. But wait a second, Colby. Bruce Springsteen is campaigning tonight for Kamala Harris with Barack Obama and all the celebrities. Aren't they kind of the bro vote?
They're definitely not the bro vote. I think they're probably on the Epstein client list or on the Diddy list. That's probably why they're out there probably trying to campaign for the Harris and Walsh regime. But, the Democrats have spent years trying to neuter traditional masculinity. They're labeling it toxic, criticizing men for mansplaining and calling it end to patriarchy, villainizing men in sport and them. And it's no mistake, every villain in Hollywood.
He said they're probably
on the Epstein client list or on the Diddy list. That's probably why they're out there.
Ingram's like, oh my gosh, we got to edit that out. We got to edit
probably trying to campaign for the Harris and Walsh regime. But, the Democrats have spent years trying to neuter traditional masculinity.
The chat is going crazy, right? Yeah, all these celebrities it is a ridiculous ploy. It is crazy to me. We're going to jump into something a little different here. What is going on with this guy right here? What is going on with Mark Cuban? Oh my gosh. He is literally transforming into Rachel Maddow as we see him continue to endorse Kamala Harris here.
Yes.
Oh!
Oh man. Let me remove this here. This is what Elon Musk had to say at his rally, because Elon Musk has been doing a phenomenal job. Shout out to Elon Musk. He's doing some really great things campaigning for Donald Trump. But this is what he had to say about Mark Cuban.
Yeah, I mean, I saw an interview with Mark Cuban and what's her name again? Rachel Maddow. But I couldn't tell which was which. Yeah, I mean, I saw.
This is how you know Mark Cuban has he has both TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and EDS, Elon derangement syndrome. This I have no idea what happened. What is going on to Mark Cuban? They got him. They got a hold of him. Their tentacles got a hold of Mark Cuban. They're like, we're gonna get you. And then all of a sudden, he's changing. He's transforming.
I think what a lot of business people don't get. I look at the Harris campaign as a company, and Kamala is the CEO, right? She's had what, 45 days, 60 days to build an entire organization. And you look at the results. She went from negative favorability ratings. She went from recognition being relatively low. She went from being way behind in every single poll you looked at. And now look where she's at. Worst case, she's tied. In many cases, she's ahead. When you're able to turn around a battleship like a presidential campaign and go from being way behind to tied or ahead, you're doing a lot right. And on the flip side, if you had what seemed like an insurmountable lead, and now you've given up that entire lead to another CEO, you're getting fired. Right? So I think that's the beautiful part of looking at what she's doing. She's run her campaign like a CEO. She's had success. And when I go to talk to business people, that's what I tell them. She's actually running her organization like a CEO. And that's the evidence that you need to know that she'll be a great leader, that she understands business, that she understands organizations, and she'll be a friend and partner to business across.
Bro, you used to be on the Shark Tank, or you might still be on the Shark Tank. I haven't watched Shark Tank in forever, but this gentleman he was on Shark Tank. He used to invest in companies. And to say that Kamala Harris is running she's a good CEO and running a good company? What? I would not invest into Kamala Harris's company if she came on to Shark Tank. We're going to get into what Kevin O'Leary had to say here shortly, but here is I have a couple more clips from Rachel Maddow, i.e. Mark Cuban.
So when it comes to criminalizing and not criminalizing crossing the border, I mean, that is just so stark, but you view that as an evolution.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's my opinion. I'm not speaking for the campaign with this.
Yeah.
I thought their hearts were too big when Joe came into office, that they didn't know how many people would cross the border, and it got away from them. But they figured it out. They learned. And what did they do? He put together an executive order, and now the number of border crossings is down to where they were under Trump, maybe a little lower. She says she's going to sign the border bill, which is very clear where she stands now. But let me tell you, Aaron, the most important thing that has not been discussed, Donald Trump and Kamala both have said when it comes to illegals that are in the country that have violated the law, they're criminals, they're going to deport them. Donald Trump hasn't said what he's going to do to deport anybody else.
So when it comes to criminalizing
Mark Cuban literally said this. He said,
not criminalizing crossing the border. I mean, that is just so stark, but you view that as an evolution.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's my opinion. I'm not speaking for the campaign with this.
Yeah.
I thought their hearts were too big.
I thought their hearts were too big. Hey, guys, it's okay. The border's open. It's okay. Our hearts are too big. Come in, criminals. Come in, people. Come in. Murderers, rapists. Come on. My heart's too big. Mark Cuban, what are you smoking, bro? What are you smoking, man? Must be some Willie Brown. Look at, and Mark Cuban's going on a full-fledged endorsement campaign for Kamala Harris, by the way. And it is, it's kind of shameful. It's shameful. Look at Jake Tapper's face.
Compared policy proposals made by Trump to those from Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist. What do you mean?
Oh, it was a race for socialism, right? Bernie said that credit card companies should cap their rates, their interest rates at 15%. Donald Trump, being the socialist that he is, had to beat Bernie. So Donald Trump went out and recommended that interest rate caps be set to 10%. That, I mean, the fact that he's even suggesting price controls and price cap.
Look at Tapper's face. He's like, bro.
It's socialism 101. You haven't heard that from the vice president. You have heard that from Donald Trump.
Well, compared.
I have no idea what is going on with Mark Cuban. If you guys can help me. One of my favorite creators on TikTok, Terrence K. Williams. How many of you guys know Terrence K. Williams? Shout out to Terrence K. Williams, by the way. So since Yeah, absolutely, Steph. It has been a movie. It has been a movie the past couple weeks, and wait until we only got a few more days left, and it's gonna continue to be more movie-esque for sure. Now he's on Shark Tank, and Shark Tank is tanking. I bet Shark Tank is tanking. So one of my favorite creators, Terrence K. Williams. So apparently, it looks like Mark Cuban was falling asleep at the Doug Emhoff rally. I would fall asleep too.
30 years, so I'd have to explain to her like what I do for a living. After 7 of those years, I had my own small firm.
Wake up!
I understand, and I've talked to her, and I've met entrepreneurs all over the country.
Lady in the back. Tap on Mark shoulder.
The last 13
Mark, get up!
I know what those sleepless nights are like. I know what it's like to, the money coming in, the money coming out, and caring about your clients, caring about your employees, and how are we going to make it through this next month? I get that. She certainly understands that, coming with her middle-class background that she's talked a lot about.
Yeah, look at his eyes.
Parent, mother, just trying to raise her and her sister. Like, she understands.
Open mind, wake up!
Plan works for all of us.
Oh my God! Yeah, I don't blame Mark. You know what? I don't blame you, Mark. Okay, Mark. This is the first time that I understand you, Mark. Okay, these people are boring and lame.
Years, so I'd have to.
Oh yeah, I love he's great. He's great. Jack Emhoff, according to Tim Walls. Oh man, I see some folks catching this on the replay. By the way, if you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section, and we're gonna jump into Kamala Harris. She did that presser. And then she did that town hall, that horrendous town hall. Oh my gosh, that was basically her debating herself and losing. It's sad. It is sad. But look at Donald Trump's face when the reporter, Anderson Cooper, asked Kamala Harris if she would do anything differently, specifically pertaining around the border. Watch Donald Trump's face on this. And the reporter says this to Donald Trump, and watch his face.
She said during that town hall, she believes they've handled the border correctly. CNN pressed her on it. Would you have done anything different? Do you regret anything? And she said, quote, I think we did the right thing.
Wait a minute, that she's handled it correctly?
Correct.
She said that?
She said that. She said, quote, I think we did the right thing.
We allowed 21 million people in. We allowed 13,099 murderers. We allowed mental institutions from all over the world. If she said that, look, she's a grossly incompetent person. And if she said that, they had the worst border in history.
She said during that town hall, she believes they've handled the border correctly. CNN pressed her on it. Would you have done anything different? Do you regret anything? And she said, quote, I think we did the right thing.
Wait a minute, that she's handled it correctly?
Correct.
He's like, she said that? Dummy?
She said that?
She said that.
Dummy? Why would she say that? Now, since Donald Trump is going on Joe, that could be on a loop. That's an endless meme right there. She said that? Since Donald Trump is going on Joe Rogan today, and they're going to absolutely break the internet, sources have confirmed that Kamala Harris will not be going on Joe Rogan. And listen to the explanation on why she's not going to Joe Rogan. Probably because it is a 3-hour unscripted, unformatted interview. And Kamala Harris can't even maintain a conversation for more than 5 minutes. Joe would just rip her up. But listen to what one of her handlers had to say about why she's not going on Joe Rogan.
Can I ask you about Rogan? Was there a Rogan invite to the vice president that was turned down? Is it something you would consider doing, given the size of that audience, and given that a lot of the folks that Trump seems to be targeting might be listening to that?
Well, yeah, I think that the vice president's happy to go anywhere and any place to talk to a broad segment of the country. We talked with Rogan and his team about the podcast. Unfortunately, it isn't going to work out right now because of the scheduling of this period of the campaign.
Can I ask you about Rogan?
Because of the scheduling, that's the same excuse that they gave on, excuse me, why she didn't attend the Al Smith dinner. The scheduling, okay? I know she wants to attract a broader, larger audience for men. It would be a good opportunity for her to jump in there and say, hey, you know, I got dressing for my word salad. I got the blue cheese. I got the balsamic vinaigrette for my word salad. I got the Italian. And then they can just, her and Joe Rogan can just have a word salad lunch for 3 hours. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, and that is true. I think one of the big things for the love of bags mentioned that Joe Rogan won't give her the questions ahead of time, and I think, you know, honestly, that's one of the things that's probably why they said no. They're like, no, we're not getting if he doesn't give us questions, we're not going to do it. So that's probably why they didn't do it. This was an absolute torching from Kevin O'Leary on CNN this morning, when they asked him about the Harris and Walz campaign, specifically regarding Kamala Harris. Yeah, Mark's a deep bag for sure.
Because I watched like you did yesterday, and something hit me pretty hard. Only 90 days ago, Pelosi went to Biden and said, you need to step aside, and convinced him to do so. He made the decision, and he did actually ask her, and we've now learned this, is she the right person to drive this home? He questioned that. He could have said, we need to run a process in order for me to make this move. But they decided not to. I don't know who they is. Was it Obama? Was it Pelosi? I don't care who it was. In stock picking, just listen to this analogy. And you may agree, you may not. 88% of managers, this is the world I live in, cannot beat the S&P year in, year out. So you give them $1,000, the S&P beats them. They can't pick stocks. This is the second time the Democratic Party has circumvented democracy and chose.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Hillary
We've
Clinton
gone through this
Hillary
before.
Clinton
No,
was
there's
chosen,
nothing- hang
and
on.
she had Bruce Springsteen too.
Hold
And
on,
what
hold on.
happened to her? And now we've chosen.
Kevin, Hillary Clinton won a primary. Okay, she won a primary. You may not.
Nobody
like
could
how
compete
the
with her, even
primary-
Bernie Sanders.
She won a primary.
Okay.
First of all, that's the first
So
thing.
did Kamala
The second thing,
Harris
we've
win a
talked-
primary?
Listen, we've talked about this before.
What's wrong
How
about talking about it tonight after what you just saw?
Do you think that's really
I'm
what
talking
matters
to you
to
about it
voters?
right now.
Your
How
whole shtick is-
many Democrats wish?
Your whole shtick has
Hang
been,
on a second.
let's talk about what matters to voters. Do you really think voters care about the internecine primary
If,
process?
if you're a
of the Democratic
Democrat,
Party?
you sure as hell care today.
I know that you are from Canada, but the primary process.
That's why I'm
the primary
perfect for
process
this.
in this
I have no
country
skin in the game
is
other
not
than
in
to
the
get a great
Constitution.
president.
It's not in the Constitution. The political parties can choose however they want to choose their nominee.
Right.
And as long as they meet the legal deadlines in the states where they are on the ballot, they can do it however they
Yeah,
want.
but I
They
just,
can
I just want to be
decide in
transparent.
December
Yes, I was born in Canada, but
December 2023
just-
to just handpick somebody.
just to
They don't
be
even have to have a
transparent,
primary.
I was born in
It's just
Canada.
not a
It's a
thing.
Democratic Party
It's not a thing.
a Democratic. No, but my kids were born and raised in Boston. All my investments in the United States. I want the president, whoever it is, to be
You're
a winner.
describing something as undemocratic that has absolutely nothing to do with the democratic
And this
process.
is why
She anointed
But I do want.
They absolutely freaked out. He's like, she didn't win a primary. She didn't do nothing. How'd she even get here? How did she even get here? Stephanie asked, do you
But I
think,
want you to think about this.
Joe Rogan podcast is going to be bigger than the Elon one? You know, I think initially, I think the Joe Rogan podcast is going to get a lot of traction. But I think long term, the Elon and Trump one was like the first of its kind, specifically being on X Spaces. That literally broke the internet. Yes, I like Kevin O'Leary as well too. For the love of bags, I love that. I love that handle name, by the way. Harris grew up in Canada. Core says, "Yep, yes, she did." Bruce Banter voting for Trump and Vance today in Wisconsin. Let's go. Get your friends out. Get them to vote as well too. Core says the black guy in the MAGA hat. Yeah, that's Terrence K. Williams. He's a phenomenal creator. Now, listen to this. This is the first time that I have ever seen this happen on CNN. Anderson Cooper was interviewing Charlemagne the Weasel, and he was talking about just Kamala Harris and her accusations against Donald Trump being a fascist. I'm actually going to drop a video later today, kind of explaining a little bit about what that whole situation is, because it is just a straight marketing ploy, last ditch effort to get something out to say Donald Trump bad, Donald Trump bad. Here we go. This is Charlemagne the Weasel and Anderson Cooper.
I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong, Angela?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
That's
Go
no,
ahead,
that is that. No, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours. Okay, but to say that we're sitting around discussing is Kamala Harris black, like
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. Now that's bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody is.
Oh, I'm not saying
Kamala
you.
Harris
I said the
black.
network.
He said the network.
I don't think anyone on. I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all have never had
definitely. It's definitely
we have
been.
had. Look, I'm sure we have had, nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something, but I will just speak up for what I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. What I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe. And those are people I try to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about, the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president. But it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's, against Biden, now with Kamala. We talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
I don't know what you've been watching, but I don't know of any Trump supporters out there or people who like him who are tuning in to me every night to try to get, to be validated in their opinions. I don't know. I don't know. I disagree.
I don't think it's about validating. What you mean, validating the Trump?
Well, you're saying that we're not, that I guess you're saying I'm not discussing all the things he is saying and doing and pointing it out and talking to, what John Kelly,
I feel like I heard more.
Honestly, Anderson Cooper doesn't need to explain anything to this guy. But I just found it fascinating that they were throwing curse words on CNN and having this conversation around fascism and all this other junk. And then here's Anderson Cooper throwing shade on MSNBC right here, trying to deflect. That's what they do best. Leftist bias media, deflect.
This country where, I got so many, I don't look at comments about myself, but I was looking up some comments about my grief podcast, and I came across this whole inundation from people who are Harris supporters saying to me online today, how dare you, what a betrayal that you would ask her these questions.
No,
and I'm like,
your job.
You misunderstand what my job is. I'm not on MSNBC, and no disrespect. What they do is they're very talented, but I don't watch it. I'm not interested in watching what these overpaid blow-dried anchors think, and I include myself in that overpaid blow-dried, although I don't blow-dry. I am overpaid, but I'm not interested in the anchor's opinion. I'm interested in facts and letting the viewers make up their own mind. So anyway, I'm sorry.
I think leftist bias media you know, I showed some of these clips throughout the show that leftist biased media is like, oh my gosh, Harrison Walls campaign, super tanking. So we got to jump on the Trump train again. Just like the Democrats that are up for re-election for political positions in different states, they started running political ads saying, oh, I needed help with something, so I called Donald Trump and he helped me. This is how you absolutely know that your campaign is in a nosedive to the bottom of the Pacific River, or the Pacific Ocean, Pacific River. What am I, Joe Biden? Jeez. Pacific River, Pacific Ocean. We already know. So tonight is the night that Kamala Harris is going to have Beyonce on. What other celebrities are going to come out of the woodworks that are on the Diddy Epstein list? What other celebrities are going to be coming out? I didn't even cover Kamala Harris, and I don't want to, because it's cruel and unusual punishment for everybody in the chat to watch Kamala Harris do a rally. But Phyllis says all the celebrities that are endorsing Kamala Harris are on the Diddy list. That's why they're endorsing. Yep. I think so. Stephanie had mentioned that 30-second loop of Donald Trump. She said that. That was a great clip. I'm going to run through some of these chats. Let's see. Yep. Paul says, I knew there was a reason. I never wanted to attend a Bruce Springsteen concert. Yeah. I was having a conversation with somebody offline yesterday about this whole situation, because I think it is bigger than what we perceive. And, there's a lot behind the scenes. And I think this is the main reason why we're seeing a lot of these celebrity and Hollyweird endorsements for Kamala Harris for maybe potential pardons. I don't know. J7CT asked, when is the Trump Rogan podcast dropping today? He traditionally records around this time. So I'm not sure if he's going to drop it as a live or if he's going to record it, because that's generally what they do. They record and then they post the following day. David X said, if Kamala Harris went to Shark Tank, yeah, they would laugh her off stage, unless she was selling dressing for her word salad. She can't answer any questions. She cannot answer any questions. Another free concert, I heard. Yep. Oh yeah, Jason, 100%, man. When they start ragging on Kamala, dude, it is over. It is over. Where are these celebrities when the businesses were closing and homelessness was skyrocketing? Absolutely. Nowhere. They were nowhere to be found. David X said, oh my gosh, Cuban's an idiot. Ain't that the truth? Well, cool, guys. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. And lastly, if you haven't joined the Discord server yet, Discord server link will be in the description down below. We're having a lot of fun down there. But other than that, guys, I am going to head on out of here. I appreciate all the moderators in the chat, some of the best moderators in the business. This is awesome to see everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button and share, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you soon.